Hello, this is my attempt at my first Filofax video. It's going to go terribly wrong, I know. I probably will never show this to anybody, it'll never go up on my website, it won't make it anywhere near YouTube. I'm so pleased with that because there's just no way I want this first mistake to be seen. If it does go up, whoops. What I'm going to show you today is my school Filofax. It's an A5 domino, red. It's got to be red because it's mine. I can't have any other colour Filofax. I've forgotten my notes. Told you this was a mistake. Never mind. I'll press on without them. I chose a domino for my school Filofax. I'm a supply teacher, a travelling teacher. I go from school to school. I have to carry basically my whole information with me. A5 Filofax is a beautiful portable size. It's not as big as a ring binder. It's got the space to write on that a personal Filofax doesn't have. It's very useful basically. I had one last year. I tried a Holborn A5 zipped, which was so classy, so wonderful, but you would not believe how precious you can be about a leather Filofax. When you're teaching infants, you don't put it out, you don't use it, it's not on the desk, it doesn't get utilised, it's a waste of time, space and energy. So this year, last week or the week before, I sat down and I thought, I have this Filofax, I was going to use it as my house file, it's not going to be used for that now. I've got another one that I'm using instead. Why didn't I set this up as my school file? It's not leather, not precious. I could spill water on it, wipe it off, I could have paint spilt on it, and all it would do is make it look like I work a lot, which I do. It's tied with an elastic band, you know that with dominoes by now. And there's the inside. What I like about the dominoes, it's got two pen loops, which means I can have a black pen and a green pen. A lot of schools I go to have marking schemes. They say you've got to mark in this colour, you've got to mark in that colour. Having two pens close at hand means I don't have to get my pencil case out, I don't have to be searching around for a pen. It's there, I can go and it's in my hand at once. Inside my Filofax I've got some of my work cards there with my contact details on. I'm going to put those behind there. Post-it notes, membership cards for any societies I belong to, and some post-its again for putting through the notes, putting on places. As an early years teacher, we use a lot of post-it notes. We're always writing information on the children. You've just got to have them to hand, be able to peel them off, stick them down somewhere, get on with it. My flyleaf is actually a poem by Loris Malaguzzi, who was the founder of the Reggio Emilia approach in Italy. I love the Reggio Emilia approach. It's so child-friendly, so lovely. It's about the 100 languages of children and the fact that they use art to express themselves. Okay, I've got a little card holder there. I don't use it yet. I've got some more membership things to put in. My diary. Flyleaf is obviously keep organised, carry a Filofax. There's nothing else to do. I have a personal one that goes everywhere with me in my handbag. This is my school Filofax, which I've finally set up. Flyleafs for me, I don't like spending a lot of money. I don't like using the plain ones that come with the Filofax. I find them boring. This is just an A5 sheet of paper with something printed on and laminated quite easily, hole punched. How easy is that? I can change it as often as I like. The diary I've chosen to use for school is a week on 2 pages, printed off Filofaxy. I find spending £10, roughly about £10, on a diary ludicrous because it's just a diary, for goodness sake. This way it's much cheaper, it's quite easy. At the beginning of the year it takes me an afternoon perhaps, sit, type it all out. Let me find one of my empty pages. See my today marker with the ubiquitous stickers, they get everywhere. Let's find it. Here we go. This is next week. It's a holiday week, so there is nothing personal on here. It has the space for the 7 days. Of course, I'll only be using 5 of them. It's got a task section, notes and reminders, communications, and what's coming up. I'm going to write down the days that I'm working here and the school name and everything. The task section is if I find I have something from that school that I need to get. Sometimes there are worksheets, sometimes the school asks me back the next day and says, oh, and can you bring the work? So that's where I put my tasks there. Notes and reminders, I'll probably put my home stuff there actually when I think of it inside school, because very often you don't get access to your own handbag. So having somewhere just to jot down quickly, must get fish, must get sausages, must get whatever, there will be useful. And communications, I'm going to catalogue when I ring the supply agencies and when they ring me, so that I'll know if I have to chase them or are they coming up with the goods for me. So there we are, a whole year's worth. I love this Optimist Prime. I cannot for the life of me, and with apologies, can't remember which website I nicked it off, but I think they nicked it off somebody else. It makes me smile, and as a teacher, children like me to smile. So that's just another printed, laminated. This section here is where I put my school information. I am going to do a printed out on the computer. That's going to be next week or the week after, I think. Basically, the information I need for school should go here. The address of the school, the postcode, telephone number if I need to contact them, information on which teacher I'm replacing, which is always useful because the children, especially the 4 and 5 year olds, like knowing that you're Mrs. Bradley today. It's like, I'm Mrs. And I go, yes, I'm here for Mrs. Bradley. And TA's name, because you get better service when you can remember who you're working with, let me tell you. And if I've got 2 or more schools in a week, sometimes it can get confusing. So I like to write it down and remember. Things like school information on the times of day. What time do they start? What time am I chucking out? I love having all of that close and near to hand so that I can go, woo, I know what I'm doing. It's always much better. So that's just plain paper there. This section here is the update section. This is the pro forma that the supply agency provide for me. It's an A4 size and it's specific to one of my agencies. I do work for 2. I'm probably going to take their ideas and change it, tweak it, put something pretty on it, make sure it's got my name really, really definitely there so that schools know when I've worked for them. All it needs to say basically is what work we've done, pupils recommended for special praises, were there any more additional behaviour issues. Sometimes you can go in, there's always one child who you think, oh my goodness, how do they cope with him? And an overall comment on the day. They've done theirs and it's A4, but it doesn't have much more space to write than A5. And I think double-sided A5 I could actually fit more on. Or I'll do A4 but make it double-sided because their boxes aren't big enough. So that's next week's job. The paper I use is just A5 pad from WH Smith's. It's wide lined. I have quite big writing when I get going. It has plenty of space, margin so I can make notes inside the margin. It's only got 2 holes because it's an ordinary file pad from WH Smith's. But of course, you just get your ruler, you're marking your marks, you get your whole punch and just go dunch, dunch, dunch. It's a restful thing to do when you're watching TV, and it makes a lovely mess that your husband comes along and goes, what have you got those holes for? And you go, don't ask. So it's easy enough to do. You don't need complicated instructions on how to put holes in paper. One of the things I find crucial as a supply teacher is that I have to make a relationship with these children. I have to hit them straight away, be a really good person. They have to want to work for me. I'd rather they wanted to work for me because I'm who I am than I'm standing there going, your teacher says you should do this and your teacher says you should do that and you must behave and you must be good. So I like rewards. I like plenty of rewards. I always have loads of stickers to give out to them. I have loads from WH Smith, God bless them. They had them on offer, and I have, there we go, we've got the smiley faces ones, we've got the animals ones, there's penguin ones there, we've got my name on. This Neil says fantastic. And I've got some address stickers there that I can leave if the teacher asks and says, oh, do you know you were good and we'd like you back. And sometimes I leave them at the office desk, and they do get back to me. I do get to go back to schools again and again and again. So I have my stickers in here now, dead easy to get hold of, easy to grab and go, you've been brilliant today, Anthony, come on, let's give you a sticker, and stick it on him and say, right, Anthony, that's yours. And it works for infants. They like getting stickers. The A to Z dividers come with A5 Filofaxes mostly. They come A to Z dividers and 1 to 6 dividers. I haven't used the 1 to 6. I don't have a purpose for those, and as you can see, they are pretty boring. I'm using this, or going to use this as record of which schools I've been to. I'll be able to take the sheets that I fill in and put them in here, so it'll all be recorded. So for example, if I go to the Queen's School, which is a made-up school for me, I'd look under Q and there'd be the sheet there with all the information on the Queen's School, which classes I've been to, which teachers I've covered for, what I've done there. I'd be able to look and go, oh yeah, I came to you 2 weeks ago, blah 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 blah. There's my address stickers again. I'm not going to show you those if I can help it. This is more the reference section. Okay, so I have some information on applying for jobs. I'd love a part-time job. It's not happening at the moment, but it's going to. Oh, look, my addresses again. And I also have first aid leaflets that I've printed off. One from Health and Safety Executive and one from British Red Cross. It's just useful to have. I've done the first aid courses. I've got my certificate. I haven't put it in here, don't know, might think about it, whether I need to or not. But just to have the information on, you know, like how many breaths compared to how many of those dumps I have to do. How to deal with somebody who's fainting, how to deal with bones, how to deal with all sorts. And it was a nice easy leaflet. Just download off the internet, print it off on your A4. Of course with A5 you just fold it over, put your holes in, and that's it, done. And the only thing I ever remember about first aid, I think, is that I have to do 2 breaths and then sing Nelly the Elephant twice. And that gives you the rhythm for the heart compressions. So you go like that and go, Nelly the Elephant, back to drunk and trundled off to the jail. That looks funny, doesn't it? Never mind. And the only other bit of information reference I've got in here at the moment, it's all subject to change, is a world map with the political on one side and the time zones on the other. I've never had to use them in school, never been asked, but there's always the one day. It's like I'm thinking of putting a whole list of the kings and queens of England, because they do ask silly questions like that. I've been in junior classes and they're asking who was the king after this and who's the king after that, and it's just useful to have them here. Okay, final bit. There's the pad that I use. As you can see, it is literally just W.H. Smith's wide ruled refill pad. You get 200 pages. It's something like £1.90, £2. I buy them when they're on special offer. I just don't see why I should spend lots of money on Filofax paper when I'm going to take it to school, leave it there. It's just for notes. So that's that. But I do have my beautiful, beautiful Filofax quadrille paper here that I don't use an awful lot. I know, I should. Tucked behind that is just the plastic Filofax ruler punch. I find that really useful because there's always a piece of paper at school that I want to stick in, and I think that's about it for now. I haven't got a lot else in this Filofax, and it's still taking me 15 minutes to tell you about it. How amazing! That's my first video ever. I've never done a video before. If it works out fine, and I don't sound like a complete jerk, and my hands, see look, fresh painted nails, look okay, and I'm feeling brave, or, alternatively, I have the bottle of wine, and I forget who I am and what I'm up to, I'll be posting this onto YouTube and possibly onto my website as well. Fingers crossed, you might hear from me again. Have a lovely day. Thank you very much for watching. My name's AngelJem, and I hope to be back here again very, very soon. Thank you. Bye.